This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Humanity, look how far you've fallen.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and fury of anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
Brother Pat asks, good morning, Sagadorf 9. How are you doing, brother? How are you doing? Day Bob, my brother from another mother. Good morning, Day Bob. Good morning to everybody out there. If I miss you, I'm so sorry. But good morning. Good morning. So, Macklyn, you came on the other day on a member stream, and I was like, damn, dude, she's so cool. I've got to get her on. And me and Purple was talking. I was like, Purple, reach out, women in the fandom, reach out. We'll get her on women in the fandom. We didn't get a chance to talk enough because there's so much we need to know. There's so much. What got you into your first fandom? What was it that brought you into your first fandom?
Well, that would have to be me sitting on the couch and my mom playing Star Trek, original Star Trek. That was definitely what got my foot into being the nerd that I am today, to the point of me crawling out of bed at, to go watch the 1 a.m. replays of certain episodes that, maybe I didn't get to watch everything. And then it just progressed from there.
And yes, Spock, TOS is amazing. It is. I same here, except it was my dad. My dad would come home from deployment, and we would sit and watch Star Trek while he had like a month off. And then that's what we would do. That's the only time I ever got to stay up late when I was like a little kid, was getting to stay up late and watch Star Trek with him. Star Trek was so everybody. It was like everybody. It's always been everybody. There was never anybody left out. There was never anybody left behind. Star Trek was about everybody. And
yeah, there was no gatekeeping in that fandom.
No, absolutely not. It was always fun because there were people that were like Trekkies, and then there were people that were Star Wars nerds. And speaking of Star Wars nerds, good morning, Nicholas Glenn. But it was cool kind of like being in both of those environments, being in both of those worlds.
Yeah. I didn't actually become a Star Wars nerd until I was a grown adult. It was definitely a Trekkie household. I didn't see my first Star Wars film until I was 20. Actually, I had someone show it to me. Oh, thank you, Gun Bunny. I'm quite fond of them.
Those are some cool headphones.
They light up, but I don't have it on right now because reasons.
So you were in your early 20s when you saw Star Wars for the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Did it change?
I had read some of the books prior. I had just never seen any of the movies. Because I was hugely into sci-fi as a child. So my mom would bring me, when she came to see me, she would bring me sci-fi books that she just randomly found, usually at used bookstores and stuff like that. So unfortunately, the first Star Wars book I ever read was the novelization of the Phantom Menace. And I didn't pick up another Star Wars book for a while after that. Because I don't know, Jar Jar put me off.
Yeah, you're not the only one. You're not the only one who thought that. Well, you know, that first movie, I liked the acting choices. I liked the cast. I can't blame the cast. I thought they could have done something different with Kirk, but most of the cast I was like all for. Then Broken Entertainment. I see Loki continues to hire actors to pretend women in the fandom exist, even though our holy entertainment overlords tell us it ain't so.
Hey, I am not an actor. I am, however, a stage manager, and I may, however, associate with those individuals. But I'm not an actor. Ugh.
But to experience more, to experience Star Wars for the first time, or Star Trek for the first time, it's something special. It's definitely something special, especially when you can share that with family. I think Spock was saying earlier in the comments that, yeah, there it is. Lucky nobody in my family liked Trek besides me.
It's like one of the main things that my mom and I bonded over. That and Nancy Drew. Weird amalgamation of things. So it makes it. You're supposed to do that anyway. That was promised for a stream. That was promised for a stream. It hasn't happened yet.
I need details. I need details about that. So, tell us a little bit about your friendship with Brightest Day.
Well, he's one of my best friends in the entire world. And he started doing his YouTube channel when the pandemic started, I think, March 2020. And I have been a pretty decent supporter in making sure that he doesn't give up. Because and this I'm going to tell on him a little bit here. He gets really good at something and then enjoys it and then gives up at a certain threshold because he has a perfectionism streak like I do and thinks that he's not doing well enough. So we have to yell at each other at that threshold to keep going.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Someone asked me once. They were like, "Why don't you go back and you listen to your own streams?" Why? And I'm like, because I've done it. I've done it, and I move on. I move on to what's next. What's next? What's next? I constantly have to move on to what's next because if I focus on what I've done, then that's all I'm going to focus on is what I've done, and I'm not going to focus on what I need to do to move forward. So it's one of those, you've gotta keep moving forward. You've got to keep walking. Keep looking forward instead of looking behind. And I want everything to be perfect. when I start off the morning, I started off the exact same way. I get up at the exact same time. I wake up the exact same way. I usually have the exact same thing to drink because I don't want any. I don't want to change. I want to keep. I don't know, almost like keeping an edge. It's almost like keeping your edge. So, swim or die. Yeah. You just keep going. Always moving. Always move. Keep moving. Never stand still. Never stagnate.
Yeah. So he's really good about poking me when I need to keep working on something, or like I've been working on my master's because I don't know, it seemed like a good idea at the time, and I decided, I was like, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna finish it. He goes, how many classes do you have left? I'm like, 5. classes and then, to defend it. And I think he actually bapped me on the head. I'm pretty sure that happened. So been working on that in the midst of doing everything else I'm doing.
School's good, but it's not for everybody, but it's good. And you should be proud of yourself. You've gotten this far. Yeah. I would definitely say finish. Keep going, and then pat yourself on the back and say, you know what, I did it. I had people tell me I couldn't do it. When I decided to get back into school, I had people that told me I couldn't do it. You can't do it. You can't work full time, take care of a family, and go back and get your master's. You can't do it. It's just not possible. And I said, you bet your ass I'm gonna do it. So do it. You will breathe a huge sigh of relief when you're done.
Mm-hmm.
It will be it'll be one of those. Whew, done. What did you major in?
So my bachelor's degree is a one of those, created degrees. It's an individualized major. I triple majored in music performance, theater, tech, and business administration. And I created a degree called Electronic Media Arts Management. It's a fancy piece of paper that tells you that I'm a professional stage manager. And yeah, I do also have 100 other things on my plate, but I actually started working with a nonprofit, and I got into doing this project that I really enjoyed, and realized I was doing brand management. So I went to go do my master's, and I was like, hey, I have business administration. I have seen the Orville. It wasn't necessarily for me. I'm not a big comedy person.
Then you no longer fear the banana.
Yeah. So I went back and focused on marketing and social media marketing, and which is why I do all the things that I do for Zach and myself, is because I genuinely enjoy it.
What about cons? I know Brightest Day goes to a lot of cons.
He doesn't. I just dragged him to the first con that he's been to in 20 years.
Dragon Con? You dragged him to Dragon Con? Really?
I did. I am the person over events for the alternate history and historical fiction track for Dragon Con. So if you've never been to Dragon Con, it's like 20-some different full-sized cons all shoved together. It's typically around like 80 to 100,000 people. They capped it at 40,000 this year due to things. So it wasn't as many people, but it was still a lot of people, and he definitely didn't know what to expect.
Dragon Con.
It's not necessarily. It's great. It's great. It's Dragon Con's great, but with what Spock said, it's not specifically Seth's humor. I just don't like shows like that at all. It's not my cup of tea. I like my drama.
I liked how much they kept it to Trek. But I also enjoyed the comedy aspect of it too. But I can understand some people don't like that. It's not necessarily, like you said, Seth's humor, but some people just don't like that. They want
like the new Star Trek Lower Decks. I don't care for it.
I don't.
I've tried multiple times. I don't like it.
Brightest Day with a brother. You didn't have to do that. The $5 super chat proves positive. We all need support and support each other. Thank you very much, Brightest Day, brother. And since we're talking Star Trek, we'll throw a little havoc in there this morning. Skull! right after that, we've got a $4.99 super chat from Mexican Ironman. All hail Macklyn. Could you please discuss future episodes of the award-winning series Brightest Day Tried to Kill Me? Don't combine pizzas. Okay.
So that's probably my highest view video at the moment. Is a short that I made during Dragon Con. We went out to lunch with Brightest Day and my husband. And we all we went to Mellow Mushroom, which is one of my favorite pizza places in the world. Now, I'm allergic to nightshades. So I don't eat typical pizza usually because, you know, the tomatoes do the death. I had my own pizza, and we were trying to bring home leftovers, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we only need one box. We can put it all in there." And I was like, "Guys, why? It's too early in the day to try to kill me. It's honestly, I have too much to do today." So I recorded a little short about it while we were in the restaurant, and now it's got over like 600 views for some reason.
We had
Great.
We had a Mellow Mushroom in Branson that was pretty damn good. They had some really good, and they had an Alfredo pizza too, so you don't have to get tomato sauce. You need not fear the tomato on your pizza because you've got other options. I think they had olive oil and Alfredo and something else too.
I did like a garlic sauce one.
Yes, that's my first choice. If I'm not going to do red sauce, is garlic sauce. Alfredo's good too. There's a very, very wonderful pizza joint called Mr. Gilberti's there too that has a kick-ass Alfredo pizza. Holy crap. Right before I left, I was like, I'm going to miss y'all so much. And they were like, well, we can deep freeze you some pizzas and you can take them with you if you want. I was like, yes, please deep freeze pizzas. Deep freeze, deep dish pizzas and send them with me.
Yeah. I used to have a Mellow Mushroom. Like, it was like a block away from, not even a full block. I would cross campus, cut through like a hole in the fence that the students made, and the school just never closed it up. They knew about it, but they never closed it up, and we could just like pop out into the Mellow Mushroom parking lot.
Heck yeah.
I hear they've officially made a gate in the fence there.
So Star Trek is your favorite show? Mellow Mushroom is your favorite pizza?
I can't even say that Star Trek is my favorite show anymore. I think I've evolved as a person. Right now, current obsession, it's Brightest Day's fault. It's Battlestar Galactica.
Galactica.
Yeah, it's beginning to be unhealthy at this point. But I'm trying to catch up to where they are on Pegasus Actual. He's on Supreme Heretics Pegasus Actual podcast, and they're like doing reviews of the episodes, and I'm trying my hardest to catch up to them. But then I got distracted and I started reading the books for the original series because I prefer to read. I don't actually like watching TV. It's a thing. My brain does not like it. So I have to be like coerced to sit down in front of a TV for extended amounts of time. So I'm reading the books. I'm loving those. I'm actually, it's hilarious. I've been comparing the original series to the reimagined series, and Zach's like, you gotta do like a review. You're gonna be ready for when we hit the original series, and you can jump on the show, which is why I have a junior officer uniform coming now. So.
Nice. I always liked Starbuck from the old Galactica series.
Yeah.
But I was an A-Team fan too. So he was on A-Team. He was on Battlestar. And I wasn't happy when I found out that they gender swapped him for the new series. I was not happy. I was like, no, I'm not cool about this. How do you just gender swap Starbuck? And then I found out about Boomer. I was like, what the hell is going on? Then I watched the show. And anybody out there who's like, Loki's just an ist and Ob and Yahtzee, I was pleasantly surprised when I saw Starbuck, and I was like, holy shit, she's Starbuck. She's Starbuck. She's sitting there. She's smoking the cigar. She's playing cards. She's like, ha ha, and I'm like, damn.
Starbuck is how you do a gender swap, not like what they did with the 13th Doctor. That's a hot mess.
Yeah, agreed.
Which I'm a big Doctor Who fan. I've got my little TARDIS here. I couldn't finish watching the 13th Doctor. I haven't seen all of her stuff. I haven't done it.
And Brightest Day is correct. Katie forced you to like her, whether you hated the idea or not. Absolutely. Absolutely. The charm, her charm brought you around to the idea that, okay, this is okay. It's okay. There are people that blame that show for a lot of other shows going dark. And this thing where, okay, well, we've got to make Star Trek dark and we've got to make this and that dark. Battlestar had its own thing going. And, you know, whether or not you think that the writers completely changed the last couple of seasons of that show or not, whether you think they fell off the rail at some point, no matter what you think, they changed the game. And it's not their fault that different IPs have tried that and failed. Especially when it comes to Star Trek, because Star Trek should be leading the way. It should be doing its own thing. It did its own thing originally. It led the way. It did things nobody had ever done before. It dared to do things nobody had ever done before. And for them to go, well, we're going to go dark and we're going to make the Federation evil and we're going to make human beings suck. Well, it's not new.
Well, it's because when you run out of innovation, the first thing that you do is add drama. So that's what everybody's doing. It's just they don't know what to do. No one's being creative anymore, so they add conflict.
Yeah.
And not even good conflict.
And yes, Brightest Day, you are correct. She's a Black Widow pilot. Everyone that teams up with Boomer dies. Except for Hilo. Hilo's the only one that, like, well, you know what? I stayed on the planet. That's because he did. He let her go. He got all that luck by being like, you know what? I'm going to stay on the planet and I'm going to give my seat up. So he made that offer to the gods, and that's the only thing that got him through that series was, hey, I'm going to stay on Caprica. Screw it.
Yeah. So, but I'd have to say, well, my favorite series of all time is Mobile Fighter G Gundam.
Gundam, you're a Gundam star.
Yes, I am.
What got you into
my
Gundam?
camera's too low. You can't see my backlog. The whole top of that is my backlog, and we're not even going to go there.
What got you into Gundam?
Well, Mobile Fighter G Gundam was the first anime that I ever watched. Ever. Like, at all, period. That was it. And I was hooked. But the first time that I ever did a kit was, Zach, not this last New Year's before. He'll remember. He gave me a Unicorn Gundam kit, and we did we made kits for New Year's. That's what we did New Year's Eve. We sat and put down kits, and we were trying to finish for midnight. It didn't happen. We just looked up at like 12:10 and was like, oh yeah, Happy New Year, guys, and went back to working.
So what is it about Gundam that brought you in? Is it the Gundams? Was it just that it was the first anime? What was it that
Oh, it's the giant frickin' robots, man. Like there's something absolutely phenomenal about the thought of just being able to get into a giant robot and wreak havoc.
Agreed.
Also, Rain Mikamura was the MVP, and I will hear no other arguments on that. I am without her, the whole series was just nothing. She was the glue. She was the glue.
No, but I agree. There's nothing like jumping in a giant robot and beating the shit out of either monsters or other robots. Yes.
Yeah, Shockwave. Chicks do dig giant robots, but you know what they like about the robots? Cannons.
Guns.
And if you know that reference, I love you. It's too early in the morning to say the whole phrase.
And Brightest Day says Mobile Suit Roundtable Tuesday nights on the Ironcasters channel. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which if you watch that and you watch the intro, the logo at the end, Macklyn Made It. So.
Oh, you made the logo.
There.
You made the logo at the end.
Mm-hmm. So the flashing mobile, and you know what? I don't think I have it on this computer yet, but yeah, I made it.
And DJ Ronnie G with $5 super chat says, I can't get enough of OGUC and Universal Century Timeline spinoffs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, it honestly, it was the first, followed by Sailor Moon, because when Mobile Fighter G Gundam was coming on air, it was G Gundam, or it was G Gundam, and then my one true love, Rurouni Kenshin, will always, God, I love that show so much. So it was G Gundam, Rurouni Kenshin, and Inuyasha. And I watched all three of those every day until they moved them to Adult Swim. And then I watched them every night.
Do you still watch anime?
I do. Not as much because, the whole TV thing and the ADD and the not being able to sit down. Yes, the Kenshin OVA was phenomenal. I still have a problem with it, though. I have several problems with that. And maybe one day I'll do a review of it and tell you exactly what I have a problem with it. But other than that, it was great.
DJ Ronnie G said the series was cool, too.
Mm-hmm.
She started on anime. Buckle up. We'll be here for a while.
Oh, hush. We don't have time.
We do. We have at least 20, 30 minutes. As far as anime goes, was there anything old school that you found? I know Sailor Moon's kind of old school and Gundam's old school, but like movie wise, have you seen any of the anime movies like Vampire Hunter D, Ninja Scroll, Wicked City, any of the older?
I've seen Wicked City. I've definitely seen Wicked City. And except I've only seen that recently, because Brightest Day did the what did he call it again? I'm a terrible friend. Anime. And he covered Wicked City, and I was like, oh, that looks cool, so I watched it.
And Mark, you don't get to have a Marauder 2 with a Gauss rifle, 2 ERPCs, and multiple missiles. No.
That sounds like a terrible, terrible, terrible idea.
No. And no case ammunition either. Oh, God. Loki knows his mech warrior. Holy shit. Or Battletech, whatever you want to call
it. All right, now, Brightest Day is sitting on a Zoid kit downstairs that I've been waiting for him to build forever.
I can't do models. I like figures.
Anyone
I just
can do models.
Models.
Anyone can do models. You just haven't found the ones that speak to you yet.
I don't have the patience. I'll smash it. It's
I
not.
have no patience.
I
I have no
tried.
patience. Ask him. You can watch me building something on his channel, and the expletives help.
I tried to do Star Trek model kits. That did not work. I tried to do
Now those suck,
giant
though.
robots. I can't do that. Um, what was the other one?
Yes.
Cars.
Howl's
No.
Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle, Purple Valkyrie. That's it. That is the creme de la creme.
Punk
It's
Waddle.
great.
Loki. The thing about Bandai is they actually snap fit well together. I don't know. I don't know, Punk Waddle. Maybe I don't know. If I recorded it and put it on film, I think you guys would see why. I will smash because my big fat fingers will get in the way, and I'll break something or I'll get pissed off
Loki,
about something.
it's Hulk smash, not Loki smash.
Yeah.
This is a model of my favorite Gundam.
Oh, that's cool.
This is Nobel from G Gundam. She had like a little laser whip. And basically, she's a robot Sailor Scout. Like, it's great.
Heck yeah. Yes, Leia Rose, Loki smash.
But I can't get back up. I have a dog down here that was very irritated about me moving.
What kind of dog do you have?
It's not my dog. It's Zach's dog. I kidnapped him. I do have a dog, though. I have a yellow lab. Her name is Honey. She's 14 years old and does not care about me at all. I am not her human. She was acquired for me, but she does not love me. She loves my husband, and therefore, I try to cuddle with her or do anything with her. She leaves.
I'm like, nope. Nope.
Mm-hmm. Duke, however, loves me.
Yeah, agreed. Labs are good breeds. Very good breeds.
Don't ask me what Duke is. He's some kind of herding dog.
Mrs. Fox says, only action figure I have is Predator from the 1990 film. That's funny. I've got the City Hunter. I've got the Hunter from the second movie. Yeah, Fox City Hunter. But you don't have to build those. You just buy those. I'm good with the PVC statue, whatever, PCV, whatever the hell they're called. I'm good buying those. I don't want to put together. I don't want to put shit together. I have a hard enough time doing Transformers.
Well, the thing is, I love puzzles, and it's just a 3D puzzle, which you'll see. I have a video on my channel of my latest puzzle haul. Actually, that isn't my latest puzzle haul. I just bought like 6 more. Duke is an Australian cattle dog, border collie, boxer, and Brittany Spaniel. You got a lot going on, man.
Cattle dog, a border collie, a boxer, and a Brittany Spaniel.
Like, I thought I was an overachiever, but you got a lot going on.
So you mentioned Sailor Moon. That's something. That's a blast from the past for me. I remember taping those for an ex. Taping those on VHS. Oh my God, there's going to be a 24-hour Sailor Moon up on. Can you tape it for me? Yeah, I guess.
I actually just saved my friend from a terrible, terrible thing happening. So, you've got Sailor Moon, you got Sailor Moon Crystal, you got the different shows. And, actually, Windology, I think it's like 2 comments above you. But you know what? I don't want to spoil it, but like there's the ending to Sailor Moon is very different in the two shows. What they show you in the two shows is completely different. And so her little kindergartner has gotten into Sailor Moon. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Which one is she watching? And she tells me, and I was like, stop now, switch over. Because there's graphic character death in one and like illusion character death in the other. And I did not think this poor little girl needed to see what was going to happen. So we prevented that. Thank you, Spock. Tuxedo Mask, least inspired name ever. I mean, yeah, they just called it like they saw it. Thank you, Darce.
Thank you guys so very much for subbing. Thank you. Thank you guys so very much for subbing to Macklyn Made It.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, no, one of my favorite prized possessions is a signed cell from the voice actress for Queen Beryl. I acquired that at DragonCon as well. So the great thing about working for DragonCon is at the end of DragonCon, there's a thing called the Dead Dog Party. And the Dead Dog Party is a giant thing for the volunteers. And you go, and the entire ballroom that it's in is surrounded by tables. And all of the tables have swag on it. And signed pictures by celebrities and things like that, because all the people who come to the con, all the celebrities and the voice actors and everybody who comes to the con throughout the week, they sign extra things and give them over to the con for the volunteers, because gotta pay back for the volunteer work. So to keep it fair, Regina, the person who's over everything, she does it differently every year. She'll call up, she'll be like, all the September birthdays, or anyone who is at this table or this table. She'll randomize it, so groups get to go up and look over things. And the year that they did birthdays, she just randomized the months, and she started with September. And my best friend Amanda, her birthday started September, so she got up and she went. And I remember this because it broke my heart. And I was crying. She went up to get something for herself, and she came back and she said, I couldn't walk away from it. I didn't know if it would be there by the time she got to March. And March was the last month that she called, so it wouldn't have been. She brings me this signed cell, and I love it so much. And luckily, when I went up, there was a giant print that she wanted that was still there. It was one of the Nigel Sade prints, which Zach was so fortunate to get one while he was at DragonCon this year. But it was the one that she wanted of the Enterprise. And if you have not looked up or heard of Nigel Sade, you should check out his work, because it is phenomenal.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What has been your biggest takeaway from that working at DragonCon?
It's almost a full-time job. Like, we work it all year long. Like, I have meetings 2 to 3 times a month to make that happen. Like, we just ended it. My post wrap-up meeting is on Monday, and then the next Monday is our pre-hash for next year. It literally takes an army.
That is crazy. That you're working on that all year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have no idea what goes into a con.
It's a lot of work, and DragonCon is on another scale, because I've worked for other conventions before. but we have to physically reach out to the celebrities and and talk with them ourselves. And it's kind of cool. Like this year, I was working with Zach McGowan from Vikings. That was cool to meet him.
Do you like the show Vikings?
Honestly, I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked it. I was a big Floki fan, obviously.
Everybody says,
what?
Yeah. Everybody says it's great. It hasn't been high on my to-do list. Dragon Con is located in Atlanta, Georgia. It takes place over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5 hotels, and this thing called the America's Mart, which is, I'm trying to think of something that I can explain to tell you how big this place is. But it's essentially a giant mall that is the dealer's room. I can't think of something that everybody would know, really, that would explain how large the dealer's room is. But yeah, it takes place over the Sheraton Atlanta, the Hilton Mystic, the Hilton Atlanta, the Marriott Atlanta, the Hyatt Atlanta, the Westin, and there's a couple other things in another one too. And then obviously the America's Mart. It's huge. It's like a 1.5 mile radius of places. And each of the hotels is full. Like every floor has something on it.
That's incredible.
So, the alt history track, we take over most of the first floor of the Sheraton Atlanta. So that's my home base. So if you're ever at Dragon Con, you can come see. What fandoms aren't at Dragon Con is the question that would be easiest to answer. And I don't know, but if you were to go to Dragon Con, it's worth the 6-hour road trip. It honestly is. If you were to go to Dragon Con's website, you would be able to, like, there's a list of the tracks under things to do. And there's a lot of them. But so, like, alt history, we were just alt history. Now we're alternate and historical fiction. Because they gave us history for some reason. I don't know. I guess it worked. But we cover everything: steampunk, dieselpunk, cyberpunk. Some cyberpunk. Sci-fi gets some of it. And then we cover any, like, historical fiction shows that aren't British. Specifically, Brit Trek gets to keep their British history shows. So there's American sci-fi and fantasy media, specifically, stuff based out of America. American sci-fi classics, which is different. The classics, they separate it because it's that huge. Animation, which is regular cartoons. And then anime manga is another one. Epoch Rising. I spend a lot of time in Epoch Rising because I'm a prepper, so I like being over there. And then I also spend a lot of time at the science track, and now I guess I spend some time over at the military sci-fi track because of Battlestar Galactica. But yeah, we're divided into these different sections, and then each section covers different things. Like, if you named something, I could probably tell you what track covers it. Do we get Outlander, Kendra? Yeah. Oh, do we get Outlander? Yes, we do. It's bad. Oh, it's so bad. I'm a big Outlander fan, and I married a Scotsman. Like, we can track his family all the way back to Scotland. Like, he is registered. We are both registered in the clan, Clan Mackay, and this year he came to Dragon Con and he helped volunteer, and he brought his great kilt, and they were like, oh ho ho, we're sending you to Outlander. This poor man, he wasn't ready. It's a giant room full of women.
There's a lot of stuff to do here.
So much. It's a 5-day con. It's a full week, and then that doesn't even begin like the pre-con and the post-con stuff.
Yeah. So if you were to have like a get together, like if Loki decided, hey, guess what? Valhalla next year, we're gonna meet up at Dragon Con.
Mm-hmm.
There is a ton of things to do here while all of this is going on.
A lot of the meetups happen either at the Marriott Marquis, which is that picture that you saw. That's a very large open space, or the Sheraton Atlantis pool.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Kendra, there's a lot of kilt petting. There's a lot. There's also a kilt blowing competition. So there's that too. Yes, Brightest Day is correct. The woke is strong. But it's what are you gonna do? It's a convention that has a large eclectic amount of people.
Oh yeah. Anytime you get that many people together, and
Spock. There's Blade Runners at a sci-fi track.
And Mark Valhalla room party. Yeah. Well, what we'll probably do is Loki will find some place for us all to gather and hang out. If we end up doing that.
You keep your mouth shut and be nice. That's what you did. That is not what you did, but okay. Men were never made to wear pants.
Just kilts. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Can't argue. Pants just suck overall.
You definitely sold Spock on the idea of going.
Hey, come on. Hey, come down. You can find roommates if like money's a problem or finding a room is a problem. I usually have room for a couple of people. So it's fun. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, DJ Ronnie.
Old Gamer 72 Cutlass says, I'm from Clan McLean. Victory to the Clan McLean.
So yeah, well, and he mentions later the spellings are different. Well, spellings are because when people came over from Scotland to the Americas, they changed their names, especially if they didn't want to be found. So like my last name is actually McKee, not Mackay, MCKEE, and funny enough, that's not where Mac came from. Everybody's like, oh, you must have got Macklyn from McKee. No. So we know exactly when his great his grandfather switched the name over when he moved. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Blade Runner.
My grandfather came over from Italy and they changed his last name. They changed one letter. They changed a T to a D. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But you hear about that all the time. You hear that people came over from Italy, from Ireland. It wasn't just that they changed their name. It's that immigration also changed their name.
Yep. They
made that choice too. I want to thank you. Thank you so much for hopping on here this morning, for hanging out with us. I definitely want to go to Dragon Con next year. That's something that Valhalla we're gonna have to talk about in Valhalla. See if we can get more people, some kind of get together to actually happen. But that would be really cool. We've got 344 days. At least that's what the ticker says. 344 days to figure that out. So I figure if we start planning now, we should be ready by next year. And we'll actually get a chance to go. And if we do, I really hope we get a chance to meet.
I'll be there. I don't have a choice.
So thank you so much for being here, for hanging out with us this morning. It has been really cool to get to know you and to get to hear about, you know, what you like in the fandom and what you can share. Definitely Dragon Con is something that that is very, very interesting to everybody. And giant robots, beating the shit out of giant robots is always good. So
Yeah.
And you have some really cool toys back there. You have some really cool merch.
Thanks. It's not all out. This is my new studio space. I recently moved into this, so everything is still a work in progress.
And Brightest Day says, send her out with a skull. I can do that. Thank you again. Thank you again for hanging out with us this morning, for taking the time to let us get to know you and for you to get to know us. That's the greatest thing about getting to do this, is getting a chance to hang out with everybody and meet everybody.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
And we will send you out with a Brightest Day skull. Everyone take care. Have a great one. We are gearing up for Diablo for tomorrow. We are gearing up to play Diablo with Echo Base Network. And we have one more super chat coming in from Stephen Glenn with $5 super chat. Name was changed due to not wanting to be associated with the Axis countries. Hail to the channel, Wrenches, and Stone Loki. Hail to you, Stephen Glenn. Thank you so very much for that $5 super chat. And thank you, Brightest Day. And thank you again, Brightest Day, for introducing us to Macklyn Made It. It has been a pleasure. Thank you. Everyone take care. Have a great one. And Purple Valkyrie will be coming up in just a little over an hour with her show. Hope you all can make it there. Take it easy. Have a great one and be excellent to each other.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.